introduce you.
So I'm Emily. Welcome. I am a grad student here. So this is my second semester.
Mm-hmm.
This is for my practicum class. So I don't really have a confidentiality form because I don't have an agency yet. So basically we are recording.
Mm-hmm.
So just be mindful of that. It won't be shown to anybody but my professor. And whatever you say in this room or do is between us, unless you are going to harm yourself or others. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
So how's your day going so far?
It's okay, not bad.
Good. I mean, the sun is shining, which is really nice.
Thankfully.
I know. It's a little cold, which I'm not a fan of at all.
Not at all.
Because, it was, 50 degrees last week?
60 degrees.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden we're down to 18 and
fake spring.
Kaz still has snow, and I'm from Cazenovia, and we're, almost done with snow. There's no snow anywhere, yeah. So it's weird. I'm sorry about that. So what brings you here today? Tell me what concerns you have, any issues, any problems.
I'm just feeling really overwhelmed with school lately. I just feel like I said, just overwhelmed and just tied down with all of my projects and homework, and considering it's midterm, it's just, I'm just drowning in work.
Yeah.
And I just don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah. So you mentioned it's midterm.
Yes.
And that you're feeling overwhelmed. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. What do you have going on?
I have pretty much, every day I have at least 3 things in each class that I have to do.
Yeah.
And I probably, I spend at least maybe 4 hours on homework.
Wow.
And it's just draining. I go to bed at 11:30 because I'm just so tired and it's just awful.
Yeah. Tell me about your everyday. So what's a typical day for you?
I get up and I go to class and just spend my days in class pretty much. And I come back from class, go to my dorm, and I work on homework. That's about it.
Yeah. I mean, I totally understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been through it. So you mentioned how you're stressed and overwhelmed. Have you talked to any of your friends about this? Are they in the same boat? Do you have any resources, family or friends-wise, that you can talk to?
My roommate kind of can understand. I mean, she is an art student, so she's constantly working on projects. Yeah. I mean, she can't really relate in the kinds of projects that I'm doing, but she can definitely understand the stress level.
So what is your major?
I'm a psych major.
Okay. Yeah, that's fun. I was a psych major in my undergrad, so it was really interesting to learn, but a lot comes with that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of, especially with midterms, there's a lot going on. There's so much to do, and I did hear you guys don't have a spring break.
Yeah, no, so that's also a tough thing, because just that week can really help. Yeah. Just to get a break from everything. I mean, they're giving us wellness days, but it's not helping.
Yeah. You definitely need a week to recuperate, figure everything out. So have you come up with any solutions on your own of how you can manage the stress or feeling overwhelmed?
I've been trying to just go for walks when I can, when I have the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, this might not be the healthiest option, but I just sleep when I can. Just take little power naps.
Yeah, of course.
That's about it.
Makes sense. I mean, I love naps too. They're great. I've also been going on walks a lot too, so definitely that's really great that you have been. Mm-hmm. Just the fresh air helps, and even if it's for 15, 20, 30 minutes, you still have that alone time. You can completely put your phone on Do Not Disturb, listen to music, do what you want, and that will help tremendously. How organized are you? I'd like to know about that.
I would consider myself to be an organized person. Yeah. I have a calendar on my wall where I put everything that I have to do for the week and even the month. Mm-hmm. Obviously, because it's a calendar. Yeah. But I like to use even a handheld planner, just so I can see what I have to do. Because if I don't, then it's 10 times more stressful. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
that's really great to hear. So it sounds like you are pretty organized, and that definitely helps a lot with managing stress and feeling overwhelmed, because you can see what you have to do each week, and that's what works for a lot of people, just to see, all right, this week I have this due, next week, you can get a visualization of, all right, I should probably work on this, and not this, even though it's easier, but it's due in a couple weeks, I should work on the hard thing.
At the same time, though, that can also be a downfall, because it's I have this much to do this week.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely taking it day by day, rather than like obviously looking at the month as a whole.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do on Sundays? Tell me about.
Sundays, is when I usually get all of my homework and make sure that I have everything due. Because Saturdays I do try and just chill.
Yeah, that's great.
But because I want to at least have a chill day. But Sundays are my days to make sure I have everything done and completed.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that you have a day to yourself. That's super important because everyone's like practice self-care and like be mindful of how much stress you're putting on yourself, and you definitely need at least one day where you're not worrying about school, you're not worrying about work, you're not worrying about anything, and you can do whatever you want.
That's great.
I'm curious to hear what your friends help. So you've mentioned that they're also like in the same boat as you. Do they help you at all? Do you guys like bounce off of each other?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, like I said, we are like in different majors, but we do like bounce off of each other, like with ideas and stuff. Because I mean, we do have like an English class that we not the same professor, but it's the same course, obviously. But we can like help each other in that sense, so that makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Tell me about. So you mentioned you're feeling stressful. Tell me about the overwhelming part, because those are a little bit different, but obviously still the same.
I just feel almost like stuck sometimes because I look at the calendar and I see how much stuff that I have to do. I almost just feel like just stuck, and I just don't want to do anything. Almost, I just want to like lay down and just be like, okay, just want to just take all of my responsibilities and just. I really do feel like I'm just drowning in work sometimes, and I just want to just break down and cry. It's just too much. Yeah. And I almost think that some of the professors don't understand that you have more than one class. Yeah. It's just their class.
Yeah. I mean, you did mention how you do sleep, and it kind of sounds like you're using that as a coping mechanism for like you feeling stuck and overwhelmed, drowning. So you're gonna say, "Okay, I'm gonna sleep." That also could potentially hurt you in the long run as well, because you're like, oh, I'm just going to sleep because I need it's a little bit to myself, and that's great. You do need time for yourself, but at the same time, that could also really interfere.
Right.
So tell me about being stuck. You mentioned it quite a few times. Is it stuck like you don't know what your future holds? You're stuck, you don't know how to do assignments?
It's almost both of those things. Sometimes I just don't know, like, what, like, path to take in the sense of like assignments. Like I don't know like how to start them and like what like route to take with them, and also like the future, like with my degree, psychology is very broad, so there's many different paths you can take. I couldn't tell you which way I want to go yet, so I'm just trying to explore my options. I know I'm only almost done with my second year, so I do have a little bit of time, but it's kind of running out. So just a lot of stress.
I can see that. You're talking about the future. It kind of scares you a little bit. That also plays into why you're feeling overwhelmed or why you're feeling stressed. Is you're trying to figure it out, and you're only a sophomore. You're a sophomore, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're only a sophomore, so you do have a lot of time, but at the same time, you're like, I don't have enough time. Exactly. Have you communicated with your advisor or any faculty that you're close to?
Yeah, I've talked to my advisor about it, and I'm like taking a criminology class just to see if I want to go that way with it. But that's the only step I've taken so far.
Yeah, I mean that's really great that you are reaching out, because that's going to help. Obviously, just talking with advisors, they're there to support you and to help you. Exactly. And because you don't know where you want to go now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to know next week. You might have like this epiphany and be like, oh wow,
I really hope
so. So just say you woke up yesterday and like all of your problems were solved. You weren't stressed. You weren't overwhelmed. You knew where you wanted to go. What would that look like? Take your time. It's okay. You can think about it.
I don't know. It's a hard question.
Yeah, it is. It's deep.
And I can just do whatever.
Whatever you like. You snap your fingers. Something like turn. Whatever you want to do, where you see yourself. What does that look like?
I would probably travel.
Travel?
Yeah. I would definitely travel, and just by myself too. I would just. Yeah, I'd want to see the world, honestly.
Yeah, sounds like you're independent, too.
Yeah, I would consider myself to be.
What steps do you think you could do to get there? So you want to travel?
Maybe save up some money and maybe research some places to go.
Yeah, especially being independent, you need to know what is safe for going alone. Because obviously, if you have a buddy, you're like, all right, it's also against the world. When you're by yourself, you're really finding out who you are as a person, and you can take risks and be like, wow, this was amazing for me. I learned so much, but this isn't for me. Or you might learn, wow, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Yeah,
that'd be really nice to experience.
Yeah, it does. I mean, yeah, I would love to travel too. It sounds great. And I can just, the minute you said travel, you lit up. I can tell by your eyes a little bit. You're like, oh. So what's like, tell me about what do you think is holding you back from that?
Well, COVID especially.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Main point.
Yeah, of course.
And also maybe just the pressure that I have to I feel like having to be at college.
Yeah.
Like societal pressure and also from my family.
Yeah, I get that.
And so maybe after graduation or something.
Yeah, I mean that's a really great goal just to set for the future. I mean, society does pressure us a lot to get an education because you need it for your career. But now, being 2021, there's a lot of careers that don't even require a college education or maybe just an associate's and yeah, you're fine. Just carry on.
Honestly.
Yeah, so it's honestly it's crazy.
It really is.
How much pressure you're on. So tell me about the pressure you face from family.
Well, my aunt was one of the first people in my family to go to college, and when she did, she went all out. And so she's the role model of everything. And I'd be like, Angela, I gotta do this. So it's when it was time for me and my cousins to go to college, it was you gotta be like Angela. Yeah. There was no, you have to stay home. There was no staying home and working. It was apply to college, be her. So I just felt, extremely pressured to go above and beyond like she did.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So you mentioned that she's the role model. Is she your role model?
She was. I mean, I would love to be like her. She makes 6 figures. Of course I would love to do that.
Yeah.
But she also works a lot. And I just feel she seems I'm sure she's really stressed. So.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely pros and cons to her situation. Yeah, she's making 6 figures, but she's also working a lot. And that what comes down to it is burnout. And burnout is so big right now, especially with college students. And now more than ever that your spring break was taken away, you don't have that week of just, all right, I'm not going to touch a textbook. I'm not going to do anything. So I totally can feel for you and understand where you're coming from because just you need that week. I would need that week if I was, still a college student. I mean, I'm in graduate school, so it's a little different. I have less of courses, but pretty much the same course load. Yeah. So I totally understand where you're coming from.
It was almost like a tease when they gave us the wellness day, especially being in the middle of the week. And then it was okay, go back to class. So it was oh.
How do you bounce back from that? Your mind is oh, I don't have anything to do today. It's kind of like a snow day.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, it's just random in the week, and then you don't really know what's going on.
It was really weird, but I'll take it.
So tell me about self-care. Do you practice any self-care, or what do you do for yourself?
Sometimes I do face masks. Or like I said before, I just like to go on walks. Or just sit outside when it's nice outside and just take in everything. Yeah. But that's about it, really.
I'm glad you mentioned both face masks and walks. Because self-care isn't just about I'm gonna take a bubble bath and do a mask and paint my nails and do all of that. Self-care can do be whatever you want it to be. If you want to go for a walk, go for a walk. If you want to go spend money, go spend money. Right. That's your self-care. That is your personal time to do whatever you want.
Right.
That's great. So, you talk about being stuck, overwhelmed, and stressed. What's a positive thing about school? We're super negative right now. Let's turn it around. What's a positive thing?
Probably just maybe the friends that I've made.
Yeah.
I mean, I have made and lost some while I was here.
Yeah.
But that's going back to negative. But I have gained experiences that I wouldn't have if I would have stayed home. So that is a positive. And also maybe, like, the fact that when I'm done, I can say that I did it and I have a degree now.
The accomplishment.
Yeah.
To say that, well, I did struggle a little bit, but in the long run, like, I did it and I, feel better about it. That's great. So tell me about your friends a little bit. You mentioned how you did lose
Yeah, I mean, I had a friend who, he was here and then left last semester out of nowhere. Wow. Kind of just, like, he let his roommate just leave, like, thinking that she was gonna come back to a roommate and didn't. Wow. Yeah, it was a huge thing. But so we aren't speaking anymore because it was a whole thing. But his roommate is now my roommate, so that's a good thing. And then my other friend, we just always hang out all the time, even though she lives in another building. But we get out and go on walks and just have a good time when we can. Yeah. So that's fun.
I'm glad you have a little support group. Yeah. It's good to, like, especially rely on your friends. Yeah. Some people are like, oh, I must have the biggest friend group possible, but just having a couple people know what you're going through and, like, can take your mind off of, oh, I'm feeling, like, super overwhelmed and stressed today with school. Can you help me just, like, get out of my head for a little bit? Like, that's amazing. Right. So you did briefly, I picked up on that. It sounded like that friend that left campus just completely turned your world upside down. Yeah. It was very unexpected. And I can see that it's taking a little bit of a toll on you. And with the stress and the school and the overwhelmness, and you're exhausted. Yeah. Right now, like, it's just a lot. And are you counting down the days till summer?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Good. Are you taking any summer classes, or?
No, I'm probably just going to work when I go home.
Yeah, that's great. Where are you from?
I'm from Rome. It's like 45 minutes away.
Yeah. That's good.
Usually when I say that, everybody's like, where? Italy?
Well, I'm originally from Syracuse, and then I moved to Cazenovia. Right. So I kind of know, like, a little bit of the area, so I know where Rome is. Okay, good. Yeah, that's great. So tell me another positive about school. Whether it's school or your life in general, like, what is one thing that you're super happy about right now? I know, it's so hard to think of a positive when you're really focused on the negative. Yeah, take your time. I mean, it's hard. I get it. It's not always easy thinking about what's good in your life when you're like, there's so much that's not good.
Well, I mean, it's not like just something good that happened, I guess. I FaceTimed my little sister the other day because it was her birthday and she's 8 for some reason, which I remember, which is confusing because she was like this big. So yeah, but that was nice because I haven't seen her since coming back to school.
Oh yeah. So you don't go home a lot?
No, I try not to because, like, we're here.
Understandable. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Well, it's great that you FaceTime her. Yeah. It's really nice. It, brings happiness to you. And that's always something to look forward to. I mean, even if you schedule, like, a weekly FaceTime call with your family, if you're close with them, just be like, hey, what's going on? Right. Take my mind off of it. So, I guess things you could possibly do to feel less stressful and overwhelmed. Do you have any ideas of what you could potentially do that's not what you're doing already? Something that maybe you want to do that you're like, maybe it's not really good for me?
Yeah, I could maybe try and, like, talk to my professors, like, if I need, because, like, sometimes I do struggle with some of the work they give me. Yeah. And so maybe I could just try and talk to them more about it. Because, I mean, they aren't scary. Yeah. I mean, sometimes they do get intimidated, but they aren't scary people. Yeah. So maybe that. Sure.
Yeah, utilize office hours. Yeah. You just go in and be like, hey, I'm not understanding this. Could you, like, help me out a little bit? Like, they're always there to help you. Yeah, they're definitely intimidating. Yeah. Because, like, they're in the front of the classroom and I'm just sitting down trying to learn. And I'm like, wow, I could never do what you do. I get it. Anything else? I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, those are really great starts for now.
Yeah.
Say we continued this like next week and we met again. I would basically tell you to come up with a list of like maybe like 3 or 4 things if you could do. I can give you some ideas. What I actually started doing recently is it's called a self-care journal. It's very obvious. I got it from like Marshall's, and it just basically says like your 3 top priorities of the day. So what are 3 things you have to get done in that day? I think that's a really great thing, especially with school.
Yeah.
So what are your 3 top assignments maybe you have to get done for the week? So you would write, all right, I have this paper, this quiz, and I have to do a chapter reading. So those are my 3 priorities I have to get done for the week. Let's write those on like sticky notes. I used to do sticky notes all over my dorm room. Stick them everywhere. They're great. Do you think that's something maybe you could adapt into your
I think that'd be beneficial, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it would probably help. And you're really well organized from what you've told me a little bit, and you seem to have a basic understanding of where you are in school and like assignments and everything. So definitely maybe try the priority thing. Definitely utilize office hours. So that's more of like organizational. For like personal, I started doing like gratitude. So gratitude is pretty interesting. Like it's not like I am grateful for blah 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 this. You could be like, I am grateful for like a sunny day today. So that day you would be list like 2 gratitudes. I find that sometimes it's hard to do like 4. It's a little overwhelming if you're just starting off. So maybe just be like, I am grateful for boom boom boom. You can also, like I said, weekly FaceTimes with your family or your little sister.
Right.
Definitely schedule some you time. Don't always focus on school because that can just lead to burnout, and I don't want to see you burn out because that's not really great. And just take it day by day. You can adapt like time blocking into your day. Be like, for 30 minutes, I'm going to work on an assignment. For 10 to 15, I'm not going to do anything. You can like go on your phone. Do you go on your phone a lot when you're doing work?
Yeah, I need to stop doing that. It probably doesn't help me at all.
No, I get it. I mean, you don't want to do the assignment. You'd rather just be on your phone, and I get that. And definitely try time blocking. I do it for like a couple set of time, like 20, 30, 35 minutes, whatever feels good for you that you can like focus on an assignment rather than like, all right, I'm going to do this for an hour, then I'm going to go on your phone. Well, can you actually focus for an hour? Sometimes a lot of time you can't.
Right.
And you're like, I'm just going to do 30 minutes, 15 minutes on my phone, because at least you're still going on your phone, but you're not going on your phone while you're doing your homework. And then it's supposed to warm up, hopefully during the week, cross our fingers, go on those walks.
Yeah.
Put your phone on Do Not Disturb, go for like, I don't know, whatever feels comfortable for you. How long do you go for your walks?
Usually like half hour to an hour.
Those are great. Yeah. Those are some prime times. And Kaz is so beautiful, and there's so many trails that a lot of people don't know about, so they're very quiet.
I'm trying to find more.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I used to go on walks my senior year all the time, like find the hiking trails and just go. And it's so nice. So definitely pick up on that or pick one of those. Do you think any of those will work for you?
Yeah, definitely.
In your schedule? Don't feel like you have to do it. Like, don't feel like, oh, I have to do self-care. Like, put this in because sometimes it's not going to be enjoyable. You're going to do an assignment and you're like, all right, self-care time, but it's going to be forced and you're not going to feel like completely turned off of what you're doing and feel like, all right, I can actually breathe for a minute and like focus on me. So like say you have nothing else to do for the remainder of the day. You don't have an assignment that is due tomorrow. Maybe take a little extra time and just like breathe. Definitely practice breathing too. There's an app called Headspace. I don't know if you've heard of it.
No, I haven't.
It basically has like a bunch of mindfulness, like different techniques, and mindfulness is like basically practicing self-care. You focus on your breathing, you focus on yourself rather than the stressful things around you. So this app kind of breaks it down in like 3, 5, and 10 increments. So if you just want a 3-minute meditation, because 10 is too intimidating, it's hard to sit and relax for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Definitely like look that up, or even go on YouTube of like little meditation things that are super short for like 3 to 5 minutes and adapt that into your, even if it's like in the morning or at night, to help you wind down and like relax and not be so stressed out. I know it's easier said than done.
Right, but still.
Yeah, definitely look into that because maybe that could help you a little bit so you're not so exhausted all the time.
Yeah, I'll look into it.
Yeah. Anything else? This is really great.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed talking to you.
Yeah, me too.
And I didn't want to go so deep because, we are just meeting for the first time.
True.
Keep it light, keep it easy, but I appreciate you opening up to me a little bit. It was really nice to talk to you, and definitely focus on some more positives. It was really hard for you to come up with some positives because obviously you're really focused on the negative. Everyone is. Like, you have a lot going on right now that's all negative. It's negatively affecting you. Definitely think of a little positive. So maybe the next time we meet or whenever, try to adapt any of those little techniques or assignment type thingies I told you about, and let me know if that helps. Any questions you have about any of those?
No, nothing.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.